All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we got ourselves a major story coming out from Capcom today where Monster Hunter Wilds has officially sold over 10 million units in just 1 month. Now, I find this ironic because this headline right here is from news agencies, and don't keep in mind, everybody is running the same headline, by the way. Monster Hunter Wilds says 10 million units, sold 10 million units, has finally sold 10 million units in 1 month. And yet these are the same people that are running damage control for Assassin's Creed Shadows and trying to convince everybody that 3 million players is the same metric and an amazing number. But here we are, where we have a company actually giving you sales figures, and we have something to talk about. So let's get into this article, guys, from Insider Gaming. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, this is major news for Capcom, right? Monster Hunter Wilds hitting 10 million units in 1 month is astronomical. The only game that I could think of that did way better than that would be Black Myth Wukong hitting 10 million units in about 3 days, which was unbelievably disgusting, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. So in a press release by Capcom, it's been announced that Monster Hunter Wilds has passed 10 million units sold in the first month of release. Now, why is this important? Well, number one, it's important because it shows that gamers will continue to play what they actually want to play, right? Real games that want to get played by gamers will always show numbers that support it. Games like Assassin's Creed Shadows that are not getting the numbers that they desperately need are going to try to use some sort of PR number to try to spin the narrative in their favor. This is why I do not like when paid-for video games are advertised with players instead of sales. I will always advocate for companies to utilize sales metrics because that shows actual interest. That shows actual, like, what people are buying out there versus, oh, well, yeah, we got free copies in this number. We got Ubisoft Plus in this number. We're trying to tout it as the same thing as a $70 sale when reality, $15.99 a month is not the same as $70, right? Even if this company were to sell a $70 product on someone else's digital retail store or physical retail store, they're going to lose about 30%, which is still a much higher number than the $15.99 for Ubisoft Plus. So it does not matter. You have a lot of people out there trying to utilize that differentiation as cope. They're trying to say, well, maybe it's worth more if they sell it on their own platform versus having to use someone else to sell it. No, that's bullshit. It still gives you more money if you sell a retail copy at full price with another retailer versus you getting $15.99 a month for a more expensive version, by the way. Because don't forget, on Ubisoft Plus, for $15.99 a month, you get the maximum edition. That's like, what, $100? So still, even if you sold the $100 version on someone else's retail store after 30%, you're still getting $70, which is way more than $15.99. But again, people are going to try to make up whatever excuse as they possibly can to try to defend Assassin's Creed Shadows. But again, I love reporting on stuff like this. I love when good news hits the gaming scene. But here's the thing, too. Just because they sold 10 million units within the first month of release, I am not going to let them down with the way that they are releasing their games on PC. It is obvious that their PC porting needs work. I would hope that Capcom, I don't know how, I doubt it, because let's be real, Capcom has been releasing crap PC ports for a while. But I would hope after the massive success of Monster Hunter Wilds on Steam, I would genuinely hope that they realize that there is a huge market for these kind of games on PC. I think it's sold estimated about 5 to 6 million copies on Steam alone. That is huge. That is over half of what you sold total for the month on one singular platform. I would hope you would give them the respect to make a better PC port, but chances are that's probably not going to happen. Let's be real. The press release also reconfirmed that the first free title update will be released later this week and that the second update for the game will be released in the summer. Monster Hunter Wilds' impressive sales numbers puts it on pace to easier match Monster Hunter World, which went on to sell 22 million units since its release. That's actually interesting. So in 1 month's time, it has sold 10 million out of the 22 million that Monster Hunter World has sold. That is incredible in 1 month's time. But its success is not without its issues. On release, Monster Hunter Wilds surpassed 1.3 million concurrent players on Steam, but was criticized for its lack of PC optimization. This game is absolutely amazing, but it has the worst optimization I've ever seen, said one Steam user. That being said, Monster Hunter Wilds continues to be a success for Capcom, and the game's multiple updates since release has addressed a lot of issues pertaining to PC optimization. So again, guys, I have seen these same exact news outlets try to run damage control for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Even PC Gamer is reporting on this right now about the 10 million copies sold in the first month, which is a third of what World has sold in 7 years. These are the same people that are trying to say that the 3 million number mark for Assassin's Creed Shadows is amazing and that copies sold is not the only metric of success, blah, blah, blah. But the funny thing is that all these video games that are actually successful, all these video games that are just blowing it out the water, they have no problem advertising their game with copies sold. And it's not just because they passed 1 million copies sold at the minimum. Keep in mind, there's indie developers out there celebrating 200,000, 300,000, 500,000. They're out there celebrating these numbers, and rightfully so. Be proud of what you have actually sold. Be proud of how many people actually said, you know what? I want to take you home. You know, I want to, instead of renting you on Ubisoft Plus, I want to take you home and I want to purchase you and make you part of my library. I feel like that's something you should be proud of. But it seems like Ubisoft is just not proud of that. They want to be the #1 rented whore out there in the gaming industry. They don't actually want to be the one that gets taken home and gets the ring put on their finger. They just want to get fucked by as many people as humanly possible so they can claim the highest body count. That's all they want to do. It says these numbers already put Wilds incredibly close to 2021's Monster Hunter Rise, which hit a milestone of 15 million copies sold last May. I wouldn't be surprised if Wilds managed to surpass that number before the year is out. I mean, you still got, listen, you got the rest of the year. You got summer sale on Steam. You got autumn sale on Steam. You got winter sale on Steam. As long as Capcom does their right, due diligence, I'm sure this game is going to sell an insane amount of copies throughout the year. I wouldn't be surprised if the number gets doubled before the year is over. If they're at 10 million within the first month, I can easily see them hitting 20 million by the end of the year, so long as they run the proper sales and they give people the opportunity to buy the game for a little bit cheaper. And if they keep the game updated with the free content, which it seems like they have a good roadmap for, I don't see why this game can't do 20 million sales by the end of the year, if not more than that. It's not quite at Monster Hunter World level yet, though the game reported to have shifted just shy of 30 million copies before Wild's release. But considering it took World 7 years to get there, it's cool to see Wild's managing over a third of that in a fraction of the time. I'm sure the fact that Monster Hunter Wilds is the first one in the series to launch simultaneously on console and PC has helped massively in that regard. And it just, listen, every game that launches simultaneously continues to prove that you cannot keep ignoring Steam simultaneous launch. It will do wonders for your video game. You guys need to consistently do this. Stop fucking gatekeeping the games and releasing them on, on different time windows. Release it all on every platform at the same time and give yourselves maximum opportunities to get the most sales you possibly can out of your video game while the game is hot, especially if you know that it's a popular franchise, it's a big hit with gamers, and people are going to be looking for it. Release it everywhere, especially on Steam. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.